Students, please watch this video till the end to understand it better. There is nothing complicated in the lesson. The lesson is very easy. Just try to understand it well. And you will not have difficulty in understanding it. What is given in the next third paragraph? There are different types of thermometers. See, you can see the pictures of different thermometers there also. Nowadays we are having gun thermometer, actually infrared thermometer, right, which we are using to check the temperature from far away. So we have different types of thermometers. Basic types of thermometers are mercury thermometer. I'll show you the mercury thermometer there, okay, which has mercury liquid, which is made of glass. Children, you have to be very careful with mercury thermometer. If it falls down, it will break. So mercury thermometer is one type of thermometer. Another type of thermometer are gas thermometers, which are used in laboratories. Okay, we use digital thermometers in our houses. It will show the temperature in digits, in numbers. And one more type of thermometer is the infrared thermometer, which is going to check from far away. Okay, so these are a few basic types of thermometers. There are many other types of thermometers, but these are basic types of thermometers. Now, one more thing. How do we measure temperature in a thermometer? We measure using degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. I will show you that also, degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. Now see children, degree Celsius and Fahrenheit. We use these two different types of scales for measuring temperature. But first thing, why do we use a thermometer for measuring temperature? Can we not touch and see? But I would ask, why would you want to touch and see? It can be dangerous. If the substance is very hot, it can be very dangerous. So better way is to be careful, right? And so we use a thermometer to get a correct judgment about the hotness or coldness of a substance. So our normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. If we calculate our body temperature in degrees Celsius, our normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. And if we calculate our body temperature in Fahrenheit, it is 97.5, approximately 96 to 97. Here also 36 to 37, depends on body temperature. We are always using, most of the times using Fahrenheit, because you may have heard children, 100 degree fever, 101 degree fever. So we are calculating, we are reading the temperature in Fahrenheit most of the times. Degree Celsius is used in laboratories very commonly. Only this much is given on page number 33. The three different states, solid, liquid and gas. What happens when you heat them and what happens when you cool them, and a thermometer. These things are explained on page number 33. Now let's move to page number 34 to see what is given on that page. Now see children, this is also one nice activity given in our textbook. There is a beaker, you can see the picture there also, and ice is kept in that beaker, and we are keeping a thermometer to measure the temperature of ice. We know that the temperature of ice is going to be 0 degrees Celsius, but we'll see how the temperature is changing in the thermometer. But you will see children, the temperature of ice might start from minus, it might go till 0, and once the temperature in thermometer becomes 0, it is not going to increase. It will not increase at all till all the ice has melted. When all the ice has melted, only then the temperature of the substance will start rising. Amazing, no? We can explain it in another way also. Even if you keep this beaker of ice on gas and heat it, it will not show temperature change even after heating until all the ice has melted. Where is the heat going? The heat is used to change the state of substance. The substance is using that heat to change its state from solid to liquid. It wants to jump from solid to liquid. So it is absorbing that heat energy and changing its state. See, these substances are also like us. They also behave like humans. They also behave like living things sometimes. So see children, what is given in the table below that? Boiling water's temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. Yes, the temperature of boiling water is never going to go above 100. Suppose you boil the water and the temperature goes to 100, water starts boiling. After that, if you keep heating more, still the temperature will not rise beyond 100. It will not become 200. It will not become 300. It will remain 100 only. After reaching 100, what will happen? You have seen children, once the water starts boiling, if you keep boiling it more and more and more, then you will see that the water is becoming less. Temperature of water is not increasing. Water will only become less and less. Why? Because the water will be converted into water vapor. Okay, so temperature doesn't rise. Next, freezing water is having a temperature of 0 degrees Celsius. Air in winter night less than 15 degrees Celsius. Winter nights are colder. Air in summer afternoon 35 degrees Celsius. Very hot temperature. Inside a fridge less than 5 degrees Celsius. Inside the freezer less than 18 degrees Celsius. And our body temperature 37 degrees Celsius. So this is one very nice concept children. See the next picture shown there. In this picture what we see? We see that the water is boiling. Water will boil only till 100 degrees Celsius. We have just now seen. After water reaches 100 degrees Celsius, bubbles will start coming. Right? Bubbles will start coming. This process is called as ebullition. What is given in your textbook children? Ebullition. It's not a very difficult word, very complicated meaning children. It's having a simple meaning. Ebullition means bubbling of water. When water starts bubbling, when water starts giving bubbles, it is ebullition. Okay? I'll write ebullition there so that you all understand. Ebullition, bubbling of water. Simple meaning. Okay? Next, what is given there? There is one more word given, condensation. What is condensation? Condensation means when the water vapor is converted into water. You might have seen in winter nights children, in the night time it is cold, and when you go out in the morning, you may see that the grass is wet, the surfaces are wet. What has happened? The water vapor present in the air has become water. Okay, one more thing children, I just did not tell you is the evaporation. The paragraph is starting with evaporation process. Now children, can you tell me, are evaporation and boiling the same? Yes children, is the evaporation process and boiling process the same? If you say the answer is yes, I will say answer is no. Evaporation and boiling are two very different processes. Now, if you want to understand it, suppose you are hanging the clothes in a line on a string, wet clothes, they will become dry on their own. If somewhere little bit of water is spilled, that water is going to dry on its own, right? This process is evaporation. Where is the water going? Water in the clothes, water on the floor is getting converted into water vapor. It's getting converted into gas, right? How? We are not heating the water. We are not boiling the water in the clothes. We are not boiling those clothes. This process is taking place on its own. Okay? That is why this process is called as evaporation. Because in evaporation, the state of substance is changing naturally. Water is getting converted into water vapor naturally. And in boiling, water is not getting converted into gas naturally. We are heating it. One more example of condensation I will give children. If you take the water bottle from a refrigerator and you keep it outside, now what will happen? You will see that after some time water is formed, water has come on the outside of the bottle. From where this water came? Has the bottle leaked out? Has the bottle blasted? From where the water has come? That water has not come from inside the bottle. That water has come from outside only. How from outside? Because water vapor, we have learnt in first lesson, children, that air contains oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, argon, krypton, so many things. One thing is water vapor also, right? So it is the same water vapor which has come on the bottle. What has happened in the air now also, at present also? I am breathing air. When I am breathing air, I am only breathing oxygen. I am not breathing all these constituents, right? But in the air, everywhere around us, we have all these things in the air. Now also I am having oxygen, nitrogen, helium, whatever, water vapor, everything around me. Now also we are having. And water vapor is also there in the air, which is everywhere around me. So the same water vapor cools down, and when a gas cools down, it becomes liquid. That is why you are seeing water formed around the bottle. So children, we'll finish till here, and in the next session we will continue with the next lesson. Do keep up with us and keep learning. Thank you for watching till the end.